Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Trading from Blank episode 59. We're going to be taking a look at BONK. If you don't know what this series is all about, we're essentially starting with a blank chart and we're going to work our way from the higher time frame down to the lower time frame. Ideally, finding some plans, some trades, and a general outlook. Like I said, this week we're going to be taking a look at BONK. Let's get into the video. Just wanted to remind you that this video is for informational purposes only and reflects my personal views. It is not financial advice. Always consult a qualified financial advisor before making investment decisions. Yeah, so BONK is a coin I haven't actually looked at in a while. I haven't looked at many memes in a while. Kind of the only meme coin basket, or from the basket I've been looking at is Fartcoin. BONK is really, it's been struggling after having a pretty crazy trend where people seem to think that we didn't get much of an alt run. You take a look at BONK, we had from that low, obviously like a 287,000% move. When things really started to get heat up, and it did catch traction back in December, it still managed to do like a 10x. So it's a coin that has been down only really since that November move. Since the Trump and Melania launch of those meme coins, that was essentially when the meme coin basket topped across the board. And since then, we've seen a lot of altcoins, especially from the altcoins, but meme coins especially have struggled. And basically, it was fairly obvious that this was that complacency bounce. Now, in hindsight, we look back, we can see that that was the sort of complacency bounce on a lot of these meme coins, where it gave an opportunity for people to exit who might have entered during that November move up. But now they're probably still bag holding, knowing the majority of the crypto community. Looking at the monthly, clearly we can see that there's a higher time frame support right now that BONK has ended up losing back in November. This is like a multi-monthly support from this sort of higher time frame range it's been stuck in basically since it broke it back in December all the way through to that November. So 2 years, right, from November to November essentially, or December to December, where BONK has been ranging. And if anything, that's your standard and your typical like head and shoulders pattern that obviously has led to a move again. Hindsight, but that was a pretty nice top for BONK. Right now it is breaking back below this 0.0112 area, and if it doesn't start to bounce fairly soon, it's almost guaranteed it's going to be backfilling that wick from October, and even going all the way back down to this sort of consolidation area down here towards 0.002. So overall, pretty important place for BONK to start holding down here after sweeping sort of these lows. If you want to view the wick as an anomaly, kind of have like all of these lows down here that kept getting swept, and right now we're starting to sweep under there yet again. So in terms of a move up from BONK, we're going to really want to see it reclaim that 0.0112 area. If it does reclaim that region, then you could see it move back probably towards these highs and take out the majority of this move down. But right now, looking for longs is obviously pretty dangerous, as we are moving into a very low volume node area. Essentially, this move down here was very illiquid, and equally would be very illiquid on the way back down. Not much volume traded or historical volume traded here, so it would equally act as the same way on the way down. So like I said, true acceptance under this monthly and likely weekly range low, then we could see BONK trade back down to this wick, and that's going to be a 50 to 60% move down from here. If we go on to the weekly, you can see that BONK was sort of consolidating under here. I guess you could say there was a weekly support. We have kind of this area that I'll mark out. This area here, clearly like a weekly and monthly high time frame support, and we can already see this bearish retest coming in from BONK. It doesn't help that Sol is really weak, and Sol is looking pretty cooked right now, with BONK being in a Sol meme coin off the the Sol ecosystem. This is looking pretty rough in terms of a bearish retest right now. I'm sure the lower time frame could definitely offer us some sort of entry trigger around into this area. Overall, like, this is looking like a pretty clean bearish retest, and as I just discussed on the monthly chart, for a continuation and for a big move back high, you're going to want to see BONK reclaim back above this key monthly and weekly support. Otherwise, I'm fairly sure we're just going to continue to leg down, like do this step down price action that I talk about a lot, right? Sort of leg down, consolidate, leg down, down, consolidate, leg down, go again, consolidate, comes back up, retest that support, and then rolls again. So, you know, if this weekly starts to close poorly, then expect BONK to start to sell off and probably form a new range below here for bouncing and then rolling yet again. But overall, I would say, you know, it is looking quite overextended. Now, if we look at the weekly, we look at the RSI, we look at the Z score, like, you know, there's no divergence forming down here on the weekly. There's no signs of like exhaustion just yet on the weekly on the Z score. So it still has like potentially much lower to go in terms of looking for a higher time frame reversal on oscillators. So I'm not completely convinced in a bottom at the weekly and at the monthly, and I definitely think I would favor shorts on any move higher that we get on BONK back into this area. Would be a good opportunity to get short on it. Now onto the daily, obviously that sort of retest becomes more prominent from here, fairly obvious like bearish retest here into that area where we're legging down. And then if we sort of draw this sort of daily range down here, and we can see that we are breaking down below this range low, so we can work with that, right? We have a few trades that we could obviously take off this, and based on the daily differences here, we do have a bit of a daily divergence forming. Z score not so much, but Z scores get quite overextended on the daily, which historically is a pretty good place for a reversal for it. So yeah, it does sort of incline me into looking for a reversal here, at least for a bounce back up, whether that's the daily range low or maybe the daily range high into a higher time frame retest or lower. And that is something we'll have to assess as price action develops. Right now, obviously, a key reclaim back above 0.0085 could be a really nice position for BONK if we go on the 4-hour. We'll look at the VWAP values shortly as well. That should give us a good outlook in pairing with this sort of price action. But yeah, a reclaim back above 0.0, let's call it 0.086. And you could see a move back towards that range high again. Said I think I would really still favor shorts into here, that being, you know, a higher time frame swing short with a stop above the high, and then a big higher time frame reversal above there. Then you'd see a continuation much higher. But for now, cautious of a leg lower. Like I said, it's just doing this step down PA, right, where it just consolidates. Maybe we see consolidation here to leg down. So depending how BTC and ETH move this week, if we get that retest into that prior range low area, then I think it's a good place to look for a short and continuation lower. That would be my first trade I would keep an eye on for BONK. Second trade would be that reclaim setup. If we didn't get some sort of trigger for a short, if we didn't get the short trigger for option 1 here on BONK, and the price started to reclaim back above the daily range low, then there's almost a guarantee of a move back towards the highs. But like I've been saying, Sol is really weak, meme coins are really weak. You know, BTC is weak, ETH is weak, the whole market is weak. So, you know, looking for continuation setups to the upside and big reversals on these coins is far from what you really want to be doing. Like right now, we want to be playing the trend, which is down. But of course, we have to be open to the option that if we did reclaim, and if BONK did reclaim that daily range low, then we could look for a move back higher. That pretty much sums up the daily and the lower time frame outlook right now. You know, we've covered sort of multiple time frames. So what I want to do right now is look at the VWAP system. To interrupt, but I just wanted to let you know that I'm running a giveaway on my Twitter right now. The entry is until January, so you've got a while to enter, but I'm giving away a 3-month subscription to join the Discord. I will put the requirements on the screen now. You can see what you got to do. It's really simple, and the link to enter the giveaway is going to be at the top of the description. Obviously, as well, if you enjoying this video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe. Let's get back to the video. We're going to be taking a look at the VWAP system now. Just looking at VWAPs, and this is the quarterly, the yearly VWAP, the weekly VWAP, and the monthly. Already we can see that BONK is locking in a bit of a monthly buy signal down here. In fact, a strong monthly buy signal, as we also getting some nice divergences down here on the monthly time frame. See, there's been a few occasions where we've had these. We wouldn't count them based on the fact that was the October wick, but historically these do offer some nice bounces, especially the strong buy signals on the monthly. They do offer some sort of local bottom and bounces for us to take. With that in mind, like I said, we could be forming a nice bottom down here, especially if we start to get back above that 0.086. You know, based on these buy signals, the first sort of TP is into that developing monthly value area low. So, you know, that is the level to get above. We can see here that is clearly the level to get above. So far this month, the developing monthly value area low has been important for BONK. So if we do get a bounce and a reclaim of that daily range low, The developing monthly value area low, I'm fairly sure BONK could see a move back towards the highs going into the end of December and into Q1 of next year. Other than that, looking at other values, there's not too much to talk about right now. The only sort of value I have to work with is the monthly value. So that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this week's Charting from Blank episode. Keeping it quite short, keeping it nice and short. This is the plan. Looking for a short into this 0.006 area, which is also the developing monthly value area low, an important place to reclaim. If we look for a short into there and we end up getting stopped for whatever reason, or don't take the short for whatever reason, then price will likely look at locking in the reclaim and making a move back towards sort of 0.01, where we look for that much higher time frame swing short on it. Again, of course, it's going to depend on majors, going to depend on how strong Sol is, how meme coins are trading. Yeah, make sure you keep a lookout on my Twitter for more videos like this. Obviously, link to join Discord is in the description. If you did enjoy, leave a like, and I'll catch you guys next week. Bye bye, take care.